of Bhupendra Huda's latest statement, he's still confident that Congress will win at the end. But is that looking pretty unlikely now?
It is not exactly the question of Congress versus BJP or say one person or the other person. There is a paradigm shift in Haryana politics. You will find out the mission that Manohar Lal Khattar started, playing Jat versus all, the Chhattis Biradari, one versus all, what he started, that has already gained ground in Haryana. So you will see the Jat vote bank has failed in Haryana, be it of Huda, be it of INLD, be even the JJP, or even the Jat leaders inside BJP, like say Om Prakash Dhankad, Captain Abhimanyu, the top leaders. Om Prakash Dhankad, who was even BJP state president there earlier, and so also Captain Abhimanyu, they all lost. So the Jat vote bank, it is no more ruling Haryana. So that is one part that is finalized in these three elections together. Number two, Congress didn't fight Congress there. Sorry, Congress didn't fight BJP there. Congress fought against Congress. Sidelining Selja, the 27% Dalit votes, it had its impact. So that was a major show. So whatever they may say, the moment the ill treatment to Selja, Kumari Selja, that went to public, it created a kind of say anger of the Dalit community against Hudaj. So that was also the second part. Third part, BJP fielded around 30 plus independent candidates there to divide the votes. So also Aam Aadmi Party played the spoilsport. So all these things came into fore, and the result is that it is not the defeat of Congress or any party, it is the defeat of the pure dependence on the Jat vote bank. The Haryana politics has now gone beyond the Jat vote bank. The Chhattis Biradari, the 35 Biradari minus that Jat, that is ruling it, be it the, say, Ahir belt of Gurgaon, Rewari, all these things, or even the GT road belt. So they are now ruling it.
Yes. Okay, let me go back to Radhalakshmi Joshi on now the Haryana analysis before we come back to J&K. Radhalakshmi Joshi, what do you believe has gone right for the BJP and gone wrong for the Congress party? Of course, Bhupendra Singh Huda is crying foul now. He is blaming the Election Commission. But before I come back to Radhalakshmi Joshi, more reactions coming in.
किसी के खिलाफ लड़ा है तो कैसे उनके साथ
So these, of course, are the latest developments coming in. That was Sajjad Lone reacting there. I think Sajjad Lone has won his seat. He was, of course, leading earlier through the day. Let me go back to Radhalakshmi Joshi on the Haryana analysis. Radhalakshmi.
Yes, you know, in Haryana, this is history in the making, I would say, because, you know, whatever the election trends have been, has been that, you know, no party has ever won the election 3 times in a row. And not just that, you know, there is this peculiar trend in Haryana wherein, you know, if whenever the populace, they have rejected a party, they have rejected it outright. So, you know, whenever the Congress has lost, or when JJP or INLD have lost, you must have seen that they lose, you know, with figures like maybe 5 or 7 or 9, etc. You know, things like that. So figures like that. So now, if you see, that the BJP has been able to hold ground 3 times in a row, and not just that, they have actually increased the numbers. So that actually speaks volumes, and the very fact that the Jat strongholds, which were at one time supposed to be the complete vote bank of the Congress, that actually the fact that they seem to be going into the BJP's kitty, that also shows that all these narratives that the Congress was making, they have all failed. The Congress had actually picked up a lot of narratives. They spoke about the farmers' issues, they spoke about Agniveer, they spoke about the wrestlers' issues. They focused a bit too much on the Vinesh Fogart factor, and they thought that that would actually be like a trump card. Now, what happened is, what failed there was that Vinesh Fogart's guru, that is Mahavir Fogart, he is speaking in favor of the BJP, and he is saying that the Congress has always sidelined all of them. They never gave them as much support as the BJP has. BJP was the one who recognized him. They recognized his daughters, and they all got a proper recognition, and they got their due during the BJP time. And the fact that so many Olympians today are praising Modi ji in the way in which the government has supported the sports persons, that also speaks volumes. So all these narratives actually fail, because now when it comes to farmers' issues, you see that the Congress, which had rejected the thing about the MSP, now today they are talking about MSP, they're talking about OPS, which failed in Himachal Pradesh. Now if you see that in Himachal Pradesh, again they're facing financial woes because of all the guarantees. So there is no guarantee about the Congress guarantees. So you see that even for building a toilet, now Modi ji said that we are building toilets and you are taxing people for building toilets. So that all these kind of issues, actually I think that they kind of backfired. And also the fact that the Congress didn't really give a very viable solution for the unemployment also. See, he's talking about jalebi ki factory. Now everybody knows that there cannot be a jalebi ki factory. No, these are not these are perishables. So you cannot have such employment over a jalebi ki factory. Now the people who had actually mocked Modi ji about the pakodas, now today they're talking about jalebi ki factory. So, what Modi ji had said at that time was that even a simple pakoda seller also can make a decent living for himself. So that was the kind of a narrative that the BJP was building. And, Modi ji is talking about semiconductors. He's talking about a different level of development for 2047. And all that the Congress is offering is things like caste census, and they're talking about jalebi ki factory, and they're not really actually hitting the right targets. So they're still talking about Ambani and Adani, and they're talking about how there was Nach Gana at the Ram Mandir. So I think that they, even though they had a lot of issues, they had a lot of things to talk about, they failed miserably when they actually had to hit the target. So I think that again, the leadership also here is very strongly to blame, because now if you look at it, even though this combine has probably won in Jammu and Kashmir,
Yes.
the Congress has lost miserably. The Congress has not done well at all. In Jammu, they have done miserably.
Do you believe then that it's a face-saving performance for the BJP, given the fact that they are at 29 seats currently?
Yes, definitely. The BJP has done very well in Jammu. So they have done well in Jammu, and they have retained their entire vote share, and they have done reasonably well in Kashmir also. They have done much better than in the previous years. And the very fact that all these separatists also have actually come out, and they have actually wholeheartedly participated, and all this development, I think that all of that is in itself an achievement. The very fact that these elections happened and they happened successfully, and they happened all these people who were totally against them, otherwise you would have had so much of stone pelting, and all these issues would have come up. So today you have had a peaceful election, you had a peaceful counting, and you had so many great events there happening. So all of that is definitely recognized. And at the same time, it is a little difficult for BJP to get votes in Kashmir, because there again there is a lot of polarization. But then similarly, the combine the NC and the Congress were not able to actually make any dent in Jammu. So that also says that they are not really able to actually do what actually should be done there. So another sad fact is that these families in Jammu and Kashmir have been actually dominating the scene, and they have been totally ignoring what is happening in Jammu. So the population in Jammu has always suffered
Yes.
at the hands of these people there. So this, I hope that at least now, there will be a reasonable representation of people from Jammu and from these parties like the BJP, who will actually make a reasonable contribution for Jammu as well. Because otherwise it was entirely about, the entire narrative was about Kashmir, and Jammu was totally being ignored.
Okay.
So I hope that at least now things will change
Okay.
there.
Omar Abdullah, as the new CM, what are your expectations from him?
Yeah, I hope that he doesn't go back on this. He doesn't go back on this thing about the Article 370, and that he doesn't undo all the good that was done in the last 5 years. So because he has already started saying that this is like the powers of our people will be just reduced to say maybe the powers of corporators, because then there is the LG. So they have already, even before the formation of the government, they have already started blaming the LG, and they have started blaming the center, saying that even if we win, our powers will be limited. So that is the kind of a narrative that they have already built for themselves. So I hope that they actually cooperate and support the central government in all these initiatives, because it is a huge change. So you have all these cinema halls, you have AIMS, you have medical hospitals, you have medical colleges coming up, you have so much infrastructure, you have events like the G20 happening. So there is such a